7 grounded shifts for sustained fat loss in your 50s. That's what I'm going to talk about today. I wanted to give you 7 shifts that I made in my whole overall lifestyle to increase my energy, my peace, and my health in a body that works with me and not against me. Because I've learned all this and I've walked it, I want to share with you what's working for me at my age in midlife. Okay, the first thing is intermittent fasting or time-restricted eating. You can call it either way. I wanted to use fasting as a way to approach my health with wisdom. It's not about willpower. Intermittent fasting taught me structure, not starvation. I didn't need fewer meals. I needed fewer interruptions in my healing process for my hormones to balance. And I needed fewer interruptions in my hormones in between my meals so that my body could start to tap into its own fat stores and I could start to lose fat. Your gut, your hormones, your insulin all are greatly benefited and supported when you start snacking and eating all day long. It's just a natural thing to eat and then to fast and then to feast. It's just a cycle. It's part of a natural cycle that we have done throughout all our ages. Fasting has been part of every religion. Why? Because it is a powerful tool, not only spiritually, but physically. It helps our bodies to give it the ability to do what it was created to do, to heal and to digest and to use the nutrients we've used, and then to heal, reset, rejuvenate, and to clear things out, toxins and things like that, dead cells. Our bodies were created to do that all on their own. We just have to give them the support and the time to do it. And intermittent fasting is something that I have found that has helped my body to really heal in ways I would never even imagined. When I first began intermittent fasting, I had plantar fasciitis, so severe. It was in one foot and then it went to the other foot and nothing would help it. People I knew had it and they had suffered for years and said it was horrible and you'll probably never be able to walk the way you wanted to again. It's always going to plague you. And mine healed within a couple of weeks. First of all, I got the inflammatory foods out of my diet, but adding in the intermittent fasting helped my body to start to tap into its own ability to heal, to get rid of that inflammation, whatever it was in my feet. And I was able to walk again. So intermittent fasting, that was one of the things that it really showed me how much of a healing process it is and how powerful our bodies are at healing or reversing something that we maybe have been suffering with for a while. But fasting is a way to give your body a chance to do what it was created to do. So first is fasting. I will have that part of my life forever. The second one is moving your body like you love it, not like you want to punish it, and moving it in a way that's sustainable. Exercise or moving your body is not going to count if you think about it and you don't do it. You have to do it. It has to be something you want to do. It has to be something you enjoy doing. It has to be something that you know you are getting benefits from. As someone who loves her body, the last thing you want to do is push it into some kind of boot camp. You want to give your body the ability to move in a way that's sustainable, that brings accomplishment, brings peace, brings comfort, brings calmness, helps you to feel the way you should feel when you move your body. It gives you a dopamine hit, really. Natural, intentional movement, like walking, like cleaning, like doing some resistance exercises that are just weight bearing, like resistance against your own weight, like squats, like push-ups, like pull-ups, like planks. Those types of things where you use your own body weight is strength training. You're building strength, doing the things that you would do naturally in your life, but adding them in intentionally, making sure you're doing them. One example is we have a pellet stove, and whenever we needed pellets, I would send my sons to go to the basement and bring up pellets. And it wasn't until a few years ago that I realized, what am I doing? Those are a good, I think they're about 50 pounds, the bags, and I should be able to lift 50 pounds. And so I started going down in the basement and getting them myself. Not because nobody would do it for me, because I'd ask somebody and they would. I did it because I wanted to maintain the capability of being able to lift heavy things. Getting down and squatting down to get something off the ground. I have a little boy that I keep here. He's 4 years old. I lift him up quite frequently. I'm lifting him. I get on the floor and play with him. I squat down when I have to clean. All these things that you do movement of your body, intentional movement, are things that our ancestors always would have done. Walking is something that I did and started in 2018 when I started my health journey. And really, besides fasting, making sure I was eating nutrient-dense food, and walking, I didn't do much more activity than that. And that was enough because our fat loss is more determined on what we eat than the movement we make. Exercise isn't a fat loss activity. It helps with other things, but fat loss, not really. So that's more of what we're eating. But when you're moving, you feel better. You have more ambition. You have more motivation when you're moving because it affects your brain. It affects your energy. It helps strengthen your body. And one of the things I've added in is a weighted vest for strength training. So one of the things that struck me about a weighted vest is thinking of, once again, our ancestors, the mothers, the older sisters, the grandparents, the aunts, all of them, when they were out doing things, they always had their young with them, and they were always strapped on their back or in front of them. But they were doing their daily tasks with a weight on them for most of the time. So that's just part of our ancestors, though that's the way I think. So weighted vest to me is just adding in more of an ancestrally appropriate way of exercising. And adding a weighted vest to a walk does strengthen your bones, does help build muscle, burn more calories, and actually leads to better metabolism. I feel strong, I feel better, and I will leave a link down below for the weighted vest that I use. I really do enjoy it. It's an easy way to add some strength training into my day with something that I already do. I already walk. I love to walk in nature, and having that extra bit of benefit really has changed the game for me. So besides walking with a weighted vest, cleaning, lifting, moving stuff when I need to, squatting down, and not asking for assistance when I really don't need it, have really helped me to intentionally add more movement into my life. So think of movement as medicine for your metabolism, for your mood, and for your muscle. Okay, the number 3 shift that I've made is eating whole foods. And when I say whole foods, I mean whole foods that your great grandmother would recognize, that are one ingredient foods. I don't use bars. I don't use keto foods or anything like that. I use really whole, nutrient dense foods. Now I do strive to get a protein count in each day. So I will add in a protein shake. I have a certain brand of protein shake that I really like. It's 100% beef protein, tastes delicious, and I know has clean, not very many ingredients, and it comes highly recommended by a doctor that I follow. And so that's a protein shake that I will use to make sure that I am getting enough protein each day. And when I say enough protein, the requirements right now that I hear most specialists, most experts say is that you should get an average of 100 grams of protein a day. Some will say 0.8 grams of protein per pound of body weight you want to be. So if you want to be 130 pounds, you multiply that by 0.8, and that's how many grams of protein you should get each day. Or if you want to stick to the 100, I keep mine around between 100 and 120 grams of protein a day. That's what I figured out is best for me. And that's what I work on with my diet, is trying to make sure I get enough fat and protein to begin with. If I do want to add in carbs in the form of vegetables, sweet potatoes, or fruit, I make sure that I eat the protein first with the fat, and whatever carbs come in after that, as far as fruit or vegetables, I will add them in last. And the reason why I do that is there's a couple of reasons. First of all, protein keeps you satiated, fills you up, balances blood sugar so you can go longer without eating. You're just satisfied. Your body, you've given your body what it needs, and it feels good and feels less hunger. There's no crashes or cravings. Plus, meat, when you get it, it's pretty much perfectly ratioed with the fat. So like if you're going to get a steak or ground beef or even eggs, they have fat to protein ratio that is healthy for you. Then you just add in whatever vegetables after. If you're eating a low protein or a low fat protein, like say a skinless chicken breast, then you should add some fat to that, some avocado oil, some olive oil, something like butter, to add fat so that you have more fat. We need fat for our brain. We need fat for hormone health. We need fat, healthy fat in our diet to lose fat. So I make sure that that is part of my everyday menu. So some people have asked how I get enough protein in. Well, my focus is on protein. That's the only macro I care about. I make sure I'm getting enough protein. And naturally, fat usually comes with that. If not, I will add a little bit of fat in. But protein is what I focus on. And it's not fancy. It's eggs. I eat 5 or 6 eggs for breakfast with some bacon, and I can get over 40 grams of protein just in that. If I have some chicken breasts, I like sardines, I add in ground beef. I am not fancy. I just figure out how to get my protein in. If in 2 meals, it's 50 grams. If I'm having 2 meals, 50 grams per meal, or I may add in a protein shake. And I think of it as protein and fat. It's a hormonal harmony. When your hormones are happy, that's when you can lose fat. That's when you feel better. That's when healing happens and you have energy and focus. Protein and fat will give you hormonal harmony and help you feel your best. Number 4 is stabilize your blood sugar. And how you do that is you get rid of sugar and carbs. I was on a constant roller coaster of craving and crashing up and down because I would eat sugar thinking I was doing so good because I wasn't having fat. Sugar wouldn't add any weight to you. Only fat would add weight to you. This is what we learned back in the 80s and 90s is low fat was the way to go. That was wrong. We need fat. We need good, healthy fat. And if you are overeating sugar, your body is going to store fat from that sugar, whether it's fat-free or not, and it's going to affect everything. Your insulin will come up, so you will not be able to lose fat. It'll affect your mood. You'll have tired. You'll have energy surges and energy crashes. We want our hormones to remain level. We want to feel like we're calm and peaceful and collected and not starving all the time. When you stop crashing and spiking your sugars and you get metabolically flexible and healthy, you're able to go through the day feeling so good and having energy, and you're not feeling hangry because you're missing a meal. Many times I've been out running errands and I've missed lunch and I've missed lunch. And I think, okay, well, I'll eat when I get home. I don't get ravenous. My blood sugar's stable. And this is what we work for when we are trying to live a healthy, sustainable, fat loss way of living is we want to keep our insulin low and we don't want our blood sugar spiking and crashing. We just want it to naturally fuel us when it has to, and then have our body be able to dip into our fat store. And that's being metabolically flexible. Our body can run on sugar. It can run on fat. There's really no reason it shouldn't switch back and forth. That's how we were created. And once you start doing all these things, your body starts to heal and starts to turn into the fat burning machine it was supposed to by burning the fuel it needs to help sustain your body. Burn the fuel that you've stored years ago so that you can continually live without crashing because you missed lunch. I literally stepped off the blood sugar roller coaster. Now I lead with protein. If I do eat carbs, it's after the protein because it slows the absorption of the carbs, slows down that blood sugar uptake of it. I let my energy lead me, not control me. And when I got rid of the sugar and got rid of the carbs, that's when I really noticed that the food noise went away and I'm better able to just flow with the day. My hormones are regulated, my metabolism is regulated, and that's the beauty of it. So you are not being controlled by your hunger. Your hunger just naturally happens and you can respond in an intentional, more responsible way. Okay, and the next thing is sleep. I used to neglect my sleep. Now, some of it wasn't my fault. I've been through many pregnancies, and when you have a newborn and you go through that and you have toddlers, and you have teenagers, sometimes sleep is a luxury that you just don't get much of. But in midlife, especially, you need to make sure that you're protecting your sleep. I created a routine for myself where I go to bed at the same time, I wake up at the same time. I protect my sleep. I make sure it's a dark room. Temperature, it should be between 65 and 68. If you have a spouse, you can't always have an exact temperature that you want or exactly the way you want. For the most part, though, I sleep in the dark. I make sure it's a little cooler, and I don't mess with my wake and my sleep time hours. Bedtime is this time, wake time is this time, and I have found that doing that has helped my mental health, has helped my physical health, and has helped my spiritual health. All this because of my sleep. Sleep is the hidden thing that if you're struggling and your sleep is suffering, your hormones, your fat loss, your brain focus and ability will all suffer. You should protect your sleep like your life depended on it, because it does. Your spiritual health, your mental health, and your physical health all depend on your sleep. Sleep is a time of healing. It's a time that your brain heals. It's a time that your body's burning fat. It's such an important part of our day, and to protect it and to really work getting 7 to 8 to 9 hours a night is so important. God made the sun come up for us to wake up and the sun to go down for us to go to sleep. We weren't born with an alarm clock. There was nothing else telling us when to wake and when to sleep except the sun. And so following that rhythm, get up in the morning when the sun's coming up, make sure you're in bed when the sun's going down, is a great rhythm to live by. And that's what I try to do. So I protect my sleep, and it's one of the things that I will not negotiate. Now, through all these steps, what I want you to do, what my wish for you or my hope for this is for you to take what you can from it and decide what you want to put into place. Now, I can tell you exactly how many hours I fast, exactly what I eat every day. I could list that right out. But the fact of the matter is once I realized that my health was my own experience, I can learn things. I can study things. I can hear other people's experience. But it wasn't until I took that knowledge and applied it to myself, whether in my fasting, in my eating, what I do eat, what I don't eat, my movement, those things, when I started to experiment with myself intentionally, making it a study of N of one, me, myself, that was when I was able to put into place these 7 things that have changed my health and will continue to change and heal and transform my health clear into my 60s, my 70s. But we have to understand that we are all different. You can get inspiration, you can get direction, and you can learn from other people. We should do that. But make sure that you are applying what you can to yourself in steps and you're listening to your own body. For instance, fasting. Fasting is a stressor on the body. And I fast and my goal is 18 hours a day. That might not be good for you. If you have a high cortisol level, then I wouldn't say that you should fast that long every day. You should start with a lower threshold, maybe 12 hours. And the reason is because, yes, stress is good for our body. Now, a lot of people hear stress is bad, stress is bad. Yes, chronic stress, continuous stress is bad for your body. But hormetic stress that come and go, like exercising a muscle over and over, that's a stress. It doesn't feel good. It's pushing your muscle, but you need to do it in order for it to get stronger and to grow. The same with your body. Fasting is like a muscle, but it's something that can harm you or it can heal you. And depending on how you do it, it is a stressor. But if you do it in a timely manner for the length of time that's good for you, it's a good stress. It strengthens your body. It makes your body stronger. It helps to heal different aspects of your body. Different length fasts do different things. And it's just amazing what kind of tool fasting can be. But for you, N of one, if you are having a hard time and you're under chronic stress because of a living situation, your job, a sickness, then maybe fasting for long hours isn't something that you should start with. You should start with a lesser time and work up to that. We want to take baby steps. We want to start implementing these things little by little. When I started with all of these, I didn't wake up one day and have a plan. I grew into the plan. I started to make certain changes, stack different habits, and then I came up with these 7 grounded tips that I'm giving you that can help you really transform your health and continue your fat loss into your 50s. You're healing from years of stress, noise, and pressure. This isn't about chasing a number. It's about becoming a woman that you recognize and love again. One step at a time, one habit at a time, and one compassionate choice at a time. So you don't have to change everything at once. It's one step at a time. You just need to start small. Midlife is not a decline. Contrary to what a lot of people think, what I used to believe, midlife is not a decline. It's your reintroduction to who you are and who you are meant to be and what you are called to do in this life. So this isn't a decline. This is a reintroduction to what the possibility of life could be with hormone balance, fat loss, more energy, more focus, more fulfilled life, and being present to it all as you embrace the journey in front of you. Let me know what struck you most about this video. Please give it a like, a thumbs up, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and share this video out. And I will see you in the next video.